Good evening, and welcome to this edition of The List on UWW-TV. I'm Alex Monti alongside Nazir Spencer. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, with a few weeks left on the NFL schedule, teams battle it out for the top spot in the AFC and NFC, and a chance for the first round bye in the playoffs. Nazir, which teams do you think will make it to the playoffs?
Well, obvious picks are the Niners and maybe the Eagles and Cowboys. Those are my NFC picks as of right now. As of the AFC, we got the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Chiefs will most likely make it, unfortunately. And then the Jaguars and Bengals are kind of iffy right now. After that Monday night game where Trevor Lawrence hurt his ankle, I don't think the game would have been fairly more, it would have been a larger gap than 34-31. But he was a huge part of that game. And I thought that, if they were able to stay healthy, especially him, that the Jaguars would be that team to take down the Chiefs in the playoffs. But as of right now, it's looking kind of rough because, if Trevor Lawrence is out for a long time, with the exit of Joe Burrow in the AFC, the Chiefs have kind of we have to depend on the Ravens and Dolphins to defeat the Chiefs, and the Dolphins have not beat a good team yet, haven't had that signature win, and the Ravens, Lamar's just kind of, flip-floppy in the playoffs. So it's all up from there, I guess, but, the Eagles on the other side, on the NFC side, the Eagles are 10-2, and the Cowboys are 9-3, and they play this Sunday for the top spot in the NFC East, which can potentially get the 1 seed if the Niners start losing for some reason. But, the Niners, also the Lions, I forgot about the Lions, but don't sleep on the Lions, and also the Falcons are leading the South right now, so we'll see what happens, though.
And if you look at the AFC South, a team that I personally want to include on there, the Texans. C.J. Stroud has been playing amazing, and obviously with that young group that they've got going, I think they could maybe make a push. At number 4, the NBA in-season tournament is coming closer to revealing a winner as 4 teams battle it out in the semifinals this Thursday. Nazir, who do you think will win the championships?
Before I get to that prediction, I'm going to give my absolute applause to LeBron James because when there's a playoff atmosphere, he's a different human being. He put up 30 points, 10 assists, and five steals last night. And he's the oldest player to ever do that. And most of their points, 83% of their points, were coming from LeBron James off of points or assists. So I just have to give that to him right away. But I think the Bucks are going to win it. They're a better team, just fully all around. Obviously, our defensive problems. We're the 21st in defense. When we won the finals, we were like top 5 in defense. So that's going to be a huge factor. We let up 120 points. We let the Knicks do that. The Knicks have the best defense in the league, and we put up 145 on them. But we need to step up our defense if we want to win it. But tomorrow's the real test. We haven't had our signature win yet. The Celtics have destroyed us when we played them. The Sixers aren't. We didn't play very good against the Sixers. And Tyrese Halliburton, he beat us already. So this is our next chance to have that signature win. So I really believe that the Bucks will win it. I won't sleep on the Pelicans, though. They're really playing really well together. I will say that.
And then the Pacers is another team to look out for. Obviously, you were mentioning with the Bucks. It's been an up and down year, but when you trade a defender like Holiday, defense can be tough, and that's natural to take a lapse in the end of the day. And of course, Brandon Ingram led the Pelicans with 30 points, as you had mentioned previously. At number 3 on Sunday, the College Football Committee announced the 4 teams that will be competing in the college football playoffs. The teams going through are the Michigan Wolverines, the Washington Huskies, and the Texas Longhorns, as well as the Alabama Crimson Tide, to no one's surprise, leaving out the undefeated Florida State Seminoles. Nazir, do you agree with this choice of teams?
No, I do not agree with that whatsoever. Alabama should not be in the playoffs. The whole SEC is they're 7-9 against good teams. Everybody, it doesn't make any sense on why they're in it. And Florida State, when they're 13-0, have not lost a game, have pretty much dominated their entire their whole division. They're 13-0, and Jordan Travis got injured, but that doesn't account for the other 21 players on offense. There's another 10 people on that offense, and there's 11 guys on defense that can also make plays. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is why I don't watch college football as much as I watch the NFL, because there's things like that. It's shady things like that I don't agree with. Michigan deserved it. They're 13-0. Alabama, yes, they're 12-0, but again, they were not as good as FSU when they were at full health. And Washington is 13-0. I think they're great. I don't know if they're going to win it all. Michigan's looking really good to me right now, but Texas is a very good team. I would keep my eye on them when they play Alabama. I'm praying that Texas wins that game. I think they play Alabama at least, but that would just be the highlight of my year because they do not deserve to be in there. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama won it.
Yeah, Florida State, that was a tough one for them. We've got more coming up on the list, including the game between the Chiefs and the Packers and a recap on the Warhawk football season. We'll be right back.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories, even the night before. I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW TV.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on! That's it anyways. Oh, she got that. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
As an Army ROTC cadet at Whitewater, you have the opportunity to develop into a great leader while learning and applying the Army values to your everyday life. Within ROTC, you have the chance to travel overseas in the CULP program to train with other militaries, attend many elite Army schools such as Airborne and Combat Diver, and you have the opportunity to attend conferences and guest lectures by some of the Army's top-ranking officers. Our Warhawk cadets participate in many extracurricular activities, Division III sports, Greek life, intramural sports, among many other team building and community service events. Being a cadet at Whitewater is more than just being part of the Army. It's also about being active members in our community and coming together to form a family atmosphere. Anyone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves while developing themselves professionally should consider UW Whitewater ROTC. To sign up for UW Whitewater ROTC, go to the 4th floor of McCutcheon Hall to room 417.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top sports stories. At number 2, the Packers pulled off an upset defeat against the Chiefs over the weekend, which allowed them to find a playoff spot in the NFC. Nazir, do you think the Packers have finally found their rhythm, or did they get lucky with this game?
They've found their rhythm for 2 weeks now. They beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, which was amazing. Look, I want everyone to go back to last week's video and remember when I said that the Packers have a chance to win this game, and they did, because the Packers you can't go into Lambeau and play at nighttime. You can't go and play your best game there. So it's just not happening, okay? Besides Jordan Love had 267 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, who had 210 passing yards and a touchdown, And also, he had the referees behind him the entire game, especially that last drive, besides that PI call. That was a pass interference, but he was still running in bounds. Patrick Mahomes was, and they shouldn't have been that far up anyways when it comes to that 15-yard penalty. But we won't ignore the Packers game. They played out of their minds, the defense especially. You know, on the offensive side, Romeo Doubs, who I thought was going to have a great game, has 72 receiving yards, and A.J. Dillon really surprised me with 73 rushing yards. And it looked impossible to tackle him that game. So, and Isaiah Pacheco, he's my favorite Chief. He's the only one that I can tolerate besides, I guess, Kelsey. But, with Kelsey going on with the Taylor Swift stuff, I don't really tolerate him anymore. But Pacheco, he's my guy. But the Packers, they deserve that win, and I'm really excited to see them win out because their schedule is cupcakes from now on. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them as a 6th seed maybe.
We'll see if they get there. And now it's time to reveal our #1 sports story of the week. The UW-Whitewater football team are out of the playoffs after falling to Wartburg College in the quarterfinals. Rindahl led the team on an 11-2 record in his first year as head coach. Nazir, what do you think of the Warhawks football season overall?
I think it was a great start for Rindahl. I think it was a perfect start, to be honest with you. The perfect start, the really perfect start would have been winning it all. But being 11-2 and losing both games by 3 points, both those games they lost. It's a great season to me. We lost 28-31. Alec Ogden still had a stellar game. He had 366 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that crucial interception at the end of the game. But that doesn't take away from how good of a game they had. Mr. Tamir Thomas, Mr. Touchdown, I call him, had 74 rushing yards and a touchdown, 69-yard touchdown. And I'll give props to Wartburg. They really shut him down in the second half, which I think really won them the game. They took away Whitewater's main offensive factor, which is running the ball and stopping the pass when it comes to Alec Ogden and Tommy Coates. But Tommy Coates also had a great game, 9 catches and 88 yards for 2 touchdowns. I mean, they did their best. But on defense, for the past 3 weeks, it's been looking a little off for some reason on defense. I'm not sure what it is exactly from the eye game, but they got the first 2 out of the way. But Wartburg, I really think they should have won that game. But the future's bright for this team. Rindahl's a great coach. He's got a good returning cast coming back. I think they're going to be fine.
Obviously, a lot to look forward to here in Whitewater. And that'll do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk up the sports headlines. For Nazir Spencer, I'm Alex Monti. See you then.